Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach to all of you for this wonderful last Hamoedim of the year. You know, we have 7 Hamoedim, 7 special times of the year, or festivals, or days that the Lord has appointed to us for certain celebration. And Sukkot, believe me or not, is being the last Moedim, or a special time of the year, you know, is sometimes it's very difficult to understand. There has so many things involved in this festival. There are 7 days plus 1. That make it a little bit difficult. It is the counterpart of Pesach. And the next we are going to have is Pesach, you know, and they look at each other face to face. One is in autumn and the other is in spring. And both they have to do with the agricultural things about the early rains and the late rains and all those areas in which the people of Israel at the time, they were very dependent. You need to understand about the land of Israel in order to understand this special festival. You know, even in the reading that we have today for this special Chol Hamoed, the intermediary day in Sukkot, we are reading from Shemot, chapter 33, 12 to chapter 34, 26. And all this portion, if you are a little bit curious, is going to be about the regeneration or the coming back of the people of Israel after the golden calf. You know, the Gel Sachav, Gel. And this is the reason why we need to understand this precious, I would call it festival, that has so many things, so many rich meanings that we can utilize. First of all, the 7 days are divided in the first 6 days, the regular days, and then come the 7th day. The 7th day is called Hoshana Rabbah, the great day of salvation. Then the 8th day is added, is the Shemini Aseret. Now, if you are in the Eretz Israel, the same day we are going to have this beautiful festival that has added is Simchat Torah, because it is, as Peggy Pardo has mentioned to you, this is a festival of Simcha, of joy. Of joy of what? You know, in our customs, in our traditions, in our Mesorot, in our traditions, one of the readings that we do is Megillah Kohelet. And this is Ecclesiastes. And sometimes people say, why this book that is so negative, looks like negative? But you're going to see that in the scripture there is no negativity. What it is reality, to bring you back to reality. Now, why Hoshana Rabbah? Because, you see, we have so many midrashim, so many stories of our elders and sages. And one of the greatest problems that I've been trying to tell you from the beginning is that we are more following men than we following the scriptures. We're following the Creator. And I would like to begin, and we are starting now, the next week, we are going to start again the beginning of the reading of the Torah from Bereshit. That we start changing our mentality. We do not depend on men. We depend on the Creator. And this festival is going to tell you that. In who do you depend? Many people confuse being religious with having a relationship with the Creator. And that confusion is almost international. It's all over the world. And many of us, we think it because we do or perform certain things, we are making points with the Creator. It's like the Creator has a little tablet, and he's pointing there every little thing. Good thing here, bad thing here, good thing here, bad thing here. And then at the end, many of the elders and sages, they teach you that we have a scale. And depending how many mitzvot you have done and how many wrongdoing you have done, you know how the scale goes one side or the other, and then your name maybe will be written or is not written in the book of life if your sins have been forgiven or not have been forgiven. I mentioned last week about who can think that we have a Creator that has only one day for forgiveness of sins. You know? Well, all of this is tradition. Tradition, tradition. But what is really the essence of the message of the Torah? What the Creator wanted to do with you and me? He wanted for us to be the most miserable people in the world. His desire was to make us slaves of Him. His desire was that the rest of our life, the only thing that we need to be worried about, who is in our backs, that we need to be running away, like Cain was told that he was going to do the rest of his life, running. Or He wanted for us to have a life, and that we could make our lives. One of the basic principles of the Torah is about to teach you that you and I, we are responsible for our own actions. In other words, if we do it, we need to be responsible for it. If we do something wrong, we need to make it right. You know, it's not simple. It's not that complicated. No? And we need to be responsible. And being responsible means that we need to have a good relationship with the people who is around us and with other people. In that way, we will avoid many of the misunderstandings and many problems. You know, have you ever seen this situation sometimes? We have here, very interesting, we have a community that's very international. And there are many languages spoken here. And sometimes I hear languages that I do not understand, you know, and I am curious what they are talking. And what immediately every person who hears somebody else talking another language that they don't understand, what they think it is? They are talking about me. Because I am so important, you know, that nobody can stop talking about me. And then, because I do not understand, I create in my head ideas. And what I do with those ideas, I start getting myself those people. They are talking in a language I cannot understand. And I say, it's not fair. What about if they are talking about things that are very personal among themselves and they don't want anybody else to know? Not necessarily as you think they are talking about you, but they are talking about, or what about that they both are native, those people that are talking in the language are native in the language and they feel more comfortable to speak in their own language. I am sure that many of you have had the same situation. But how we are as humans. You know, everything we go to the wrong side. And the Creator is giving us all this process until the end, the last festival, to go to the process of purging ourselves. Do you know what it means, purging? Huh? To exude, to take away, to eliminate anything that has contaminated you. My dear friend Mildred is the champion of exuding, you know? And she does a lot of what we call cleansings. She cleans herself constantly and exude all the pollution that she can acquire. Well, that's not a bad idea if we start doing that. The Creator is giving us that opportunity. Once a year, we have the opportunity to get rid of the pollution. But that is not about forgiveness of sins. It's about us making right. And then when we arrive to Simcha of this time of the year, finally we say, no, we are renewed. We are now free again. We can start it. And now I don't have something holding on my back. And this is a process of all of us. Let me ask you this simple question. At this moment, in this moment that we're here, all, what is bothering you that doesn't allow you to go to sleep? Huh? What is the thing that's putting you a pressure over your shoulders? Why you don't let it go? You know? Because for many of us, the only way that we can feel that we are important or we have any value is something is bothering us. You know? And sometimes the thing that bothering us, we make our idols. And those idols that we make, they are an obstruction to our relationship with the Creator. What is more important? How many of us will say, oh, that's not for me. Oh, I cannot do that. I don't like that. You know, everything is negative. Everything is negative. And what the Creator wants for you? As Miss Peggy Pardo say, He wants us to live life. He gave us life. And He was not a tyrant. And He is not a tyrant. He is not an oppressor. And we treat the Creator as a slave driver. That the only thing that His only purpose of existing is to make our life miserable. And what totally different at this time of the year. You know, in the North Hemisphere, we are in winter. Let me tell you, I have celebrated Sukkot in the middle of summer in South America. And it's not the same. And sometimes you start asking, you know, what are the rains when they start? There are no rains at that time, you know, because what's given to the North Hemisphere. That means that the Creator doesn't care about the South Hemisphere. Well, we need to adapt, and we need to understand. But if we put this in concrete, that's when we become religious. And we miss the point of what the Creator is trying to teach us. The only thing that was put on the rock, on the stone, I like better the rock. Everything is stone, is the same. You know what? The 10 sayings, the 10 commandments, the 10 principles of life. That was the only thing. And about written, we endeavor ink with the finger of the Creator. That's what the scriptures say. And in this portion that we are reading this morning is exactly about Moshe Rabbeinu bringing new tablets. Look at the first time, the Creator gave the tablet to Moshe Rabbeinu. This time, Moshe Rabbeinu needed to bring the tablets to give it to him, for him to write it again. Because Moshe Rabbeinu broke the first tablet, because he was upset with the people. And those tablets are in the Aron, in the ark. And that's what we take wherever we go. And do you know what? Look at this principle. I ask you, where is your Aron? Where is located your ark? And for the Creator, He has given us an ark to each one of us. Our leg, our hearts. There is where we keep these beautiful words, that will remind us constantly about what it means to live. Now, that means that I will never fail. That means that I don't have the possibility to do something wrong. That means that I need to be careful that God is not looking at me to do something. Because this is the idea of many of us that we think in that way. We think that maybe we can deceive God, that we can hide from Him. And that is impossible. This is the reason that He gave us Sukkot and gave us a Sukkah. And the Sukkah, interestingly enough, it is no very strong construction. You know, this week many of the Sukkahs fly away from everywhere, from Israel to Montreal, you know. I am so glad that our Sukkah was very well done, and nothing happened to ours. But, you know, what is the characteristic of the Sukkah? It's temporary, and you can see from inside out. Now, if you can see from inside out, who is outside can see inside or no? It is two ways. This is what the Creator is teaching us today. You cannot hide from me. And you cannot play a game to me. That I am always looking at you. But I want that you feel that you are covered, that you are protected. And I always will be with you. We have gone through the high holidays. Rosh Hashanah, we have heard the blowing of the shofar, Yom Teruah. And we now, in this time in which we are enjoying, and according to our sages, the 7th day is the final day of salvation. But for the Creator, there is no final. This is all man-made. Because salvation for the Creator is not about that you're going to the promised land and you're going to be there for a little while. The idea of salvation for the Creator is to be in His presence, to be with Him. Our neshama, our souls, are transparent to Him. He sees to us. Well, then it's time that we need to start to be more honest, to begin with whom? With ourselves. You see, it's very easy to lie. And if you're a good liar, you start believing your own lies to the point that gets the moment that you believe you lie so well that you cannot differentiate realities over no reality. I have been reading lately stories about psychopaths. And it's terrible. And you know what is the ingredient of the psychopath? They don't have conscience. And I think Pharaoh was one of them. Lost the capability to differentiate right from wrong. And what the Creator wants for us at this time is that we do not close the sukkah. Because in that way, we lose that capability to see what is right and wrong. He wants an open sukkah because we can be transparent. We can see who we really are, and we don't have the opportunity to hide from anything. We are open. Then, I hope that we, this year, will learn about our festivals, our Hamoedim, the appointed times of the Creator, in a way of the principle that He has given to us, Not about step 1, step 2. No, I want, I need to do this and I need to do that. You know, this year we do the lulav in our sukkah, and we did the shaking of the lulav, you know. But you know, right now we have put so many restrictions about with the arba, meaning the 4 species. Okay, now that we have make certain things. We have the etrog, that is the fruit of the tree. Then we have the lulav, that is the palm tree. Then we have the hadassah, that is the myrtle. And then we have the arob, the willow tree. Each one of them, according to our sages, has a beautiful characteristic. The etrog is a fruit, has an aroma, a perfume, and has a fruit, something to eat, a taste, flavor. On the other side, the lulav doesn't have an aroma, but it has a fruit. And the hadassah, they has aroma, but no fruit. And the arob has the neither aroma, neither fruit. And you see that Israel is divided in 4 kinds of people: etrogs, lulav, hadassah, and arob. Which one of them do you relate to? To give you an idea, to have a good aroma and to have a fruit, you know. In my way to see it, because they say you can interpret it one way or the other, but the way I see it, if you have a good aroma, means that you are full of the Torah. Study the Torah. You know, emanate the Torah. But if you have a fruit, you produce something. You do good works. Then you are an etrog. Not only you are studious of the Torah, but you do good to others. Now, if you are the lulav, you are that type of person that is always doing something. Forget about the Torah. I am busy doing. I don't have time for the Torah. If you are the hadassah, you are like those ones that are involved only in study. Study, and you ask yourself, why so much study if you are not doing anything with that study? Are you helping your neighbor? Are you doing something? And finally, the last group, the robot. What is it? The one that has neither good aroma, no Torah, nothing, doesn't have fruits, no good works. And beautifully, the great majority is like that. Good for nothing. Then, at this time, Sukkot is bringing us something, is asking something, is trying to tell us something. It's about ourselves. Which kind of fruit do you identify? Which kind of portion of the 4 species do you identify with? Can you be honest with yourself? And can you become transparent? There is a saying that I would like to say to everybody. What you see is what you get. No more, no less. You know, I prefer to have only one face than to have 20 faces. Because I am not a performer. I am not an actor. I cannot trying to be good with somebody, one with the other. Sometimes I am in a good mood. Sometimes I am in a bad mood. And I tell people, Get away when I am in bad mood. You know? I don't trying to put you a little bit of honey. And just this last week when we had the opportunity to find our own, I lost my temper. I was provoked, but I cannot blame the one that provoked me. You see? I need to accept my responsibility. I can be provoked, but my response is my responsibility. And I felt terrible after because some of the members of the community saw and they said, wow, the rabbi has a temper. Like the first time they had seen me losing my temper. What is not nice, but it's part of me. No? And I needed to not only to apologize, to ask forgiveness. And as a good Jew, I took my portion of guilt. You know, my shame was very strong. The Creator dealt with me. I needed to ask, what I can do. I already did it. And I know. And the worst part, there is a part in me, I can assure you this, in that moment that after happening that, I tried to justify my actions. And I was saying to myself, I did right because that person provoked me and say things that he didn't need to say. You know, to me, when I can take insults from anybody that goes and comes, but when somebody insults me because I am a Jew, there is something that provokes me that I cannot contain. Maybe because what I have going through and what my people has going through. And sometimes we need to say, it's enough, we cannot accept more insults. But I was not right to act in that way. You see, my simchat of this year was almost going to be taken away from me. What I did was, I acknowledged that I did wrong. And now I can tell it to you. And I can see it like another experience. And I am praying that I'm going to have the next time a little bit more patient. Something that I don't have. But that when something like that happens to me, at least I want to be able to think before I react. Now, our Creator is not pointing us with a finger. He's saying to us, well, the next time. Because our God is the God of the beginning again. Chag Sameach.